He celebrated his 96th birthday in Trabuco a few weeks ago. And he has been a regular in San Diego, but then because of his age, he hasn't come here now in some time. Like I said, it was literally 2 years ago on Sri Ramakrishna's puja, you had come last. And he really, he just doesn't go anyplace. He just stays in Trabuco now at this time of his life. So it's just with great joy, like the joy that Ramakrishna had given, that we, and privilege and grace, he hasn't gone anywhere. He's coming here today. So really, we should be very privileged and graced by having his presence here. And what I'd like to do is have Swami say a few words, and maybe we can ask him some questions just to sort of recall his life. Swami Yogeshananda ji, can you please come up here? Swami, before you begin, let me just, I was able to Google on the internet a little biography about you. I'm just gonna, it's one paragraph. I didn't write it, Swami. It's on the internet, it's gotta be true. Swami Yogeshananda entered the monastery at the Vedanta Society of Northern California. I forgot about this now. Swami Yogeshananda entered the monastery of the Vedanta Society of Northern California in 1945. He took his brahmacharya vows from Swami Prabhavananda. After serving for 7 years in the building of the Sacramento Center, he went to India and was assigned to teach English in the high school at Narendrapur, which is in Kolkata. In 1971, the Swami had his sannyas from revered Swami Yogeshananda ji. He served as the assistant minister of the Ramakrishna Vivekananda of London for over 6 years. And then, in the same capacity, at the Vivekananda Vedanta Society in Chicago for 17 years. During that time, he conducted the center's work in Michigan, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. He then started, he was assigned to go to Atlanta, and then they pulled out. He actually started the Vedanta Center in Atlanta and headed it for 18 years. After that, he retired in 2009 to Trabuco, where he's been there ever since. So today, it's really our privilege to have Swami Yogeshananda ji come today, and through his grace and darshan, maybe we can, Marge, is it Swami, what I'd like to do is maybe ask you a few questions, and then if you'd like to, would you like to say anything right now first?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Swami, go ahead.
Not only that, I'm going to ask the question. I see that in these 2 years, the black hairs have become gray, and the gray hairs have become white. So I know that it's been a long 2 years. I want to talk to you this morning, or rather ask you this morning, about patience. Swami Vivekananda says, patience is the greatest virtue. I want to know why. Come on, raise your hand.
You have an answer here. Go ahead.
Why is patience the greatest virtue?
Because spiritual life in sadhana is a long haul, Maharaj.
That's a pretty good answer. But that would apply only in our area. Why all over the world? Why always?
Anybody else? Why is patience, go ahead, Leela, a great virtue? Hold it up close to your mouth.
Thank you, Swami. It's wonderful to see you. Is it coming?
It's coming. Yes.
There was a time when I was
Speak up, no.
very impatient. I used to say I had all the patience God gave me when I was born because I never used any. And gradually I began to see the benefit of acquiring or practicing patience. And it was practice that brought me to a much calmer spiritual state. So it really transformed me from running around like a chicken without a head to a person who is much saner and more peaceful. Thank you.
Anybody else have got an answer?
I feel that patience forces you to surrender.
Huh?
It forces you to surrender if you practice patience.
Patience forces you to surrender.
All right. There are other answers.
Go ahead, Ann. Ann, speak.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh,
If you're patient, then if you wait long enough, it will change. Everything will change. So patience helps you to wait for change.
That's very good. That's a good answer. All right, next question.
One more patience. Okay, one more.
I feel that patience helps you to learn more.
Patience helps you to learn more.
Oh, all right, that's true too. When is impatience appropriate? When is impatience appropriate?
When is impatience appropriate? Where's the microphone? Speak very close.
Pranam Samaji. I feel like impatience is appropriate like when you want to see God.
When you want to see God.
That's right. That's right. We have no right to be impatient for God realization until our mind is prepared for that. We have to reach what's called the fifth plane. You know the chakras, the 8 chakras, 7 chakras in the body. The fifth plane is the plane in which the mind wants to talk and hear only of God, only spiritual things. So don't say one Sunday, oh, I'm restless for God, oh, I want God to and then go off and go to a party. Go to some kind of a party. The whole mind has to go. The whole of our being has to go to Him. You cannot get God without the impatience of your whole being. And that only happens when your mind reaches the fifth plane. To say goodbye.
Swami, you were saying then until your mind reaches the fifth plane, when it reaches the fifth plane, then your whole mind will go to God. And so you at that time, you only want to hear about God, listen, talk about God, think about God. So
Yeah, that's impatience.
that's impatience,
That's valid impatience.
valid impatience. Swami, we're very thankful to have you here, and if it's okay, maybe we can ask you some questions.
Of course, names are all gone. I don't know your names anymore.
Names are gone, but form is still there? Do you still see forms? Swami was telling me that now his hearing is very minimal. Your eyesight, can you see out of one eye, Swamiji? Basically, you can barely see out of one eye, and touch is almost. So I asked him, "What can you experience?" And then he said, "Taste. That's what he can experience." And what kind of food? Do you remember, Swami? He said, "Chocolate." I said, "What?" He said, "Chocolate." I said, "Swamiji, I wanted to give you from the San Diego monastery a bar of chocolate, okay?"
Thank you, dear brother. Thank you.
Swami, if you don't know Swami Yogeshananda, he has authored a few books. He's well known for a couple books. One is called Waking Up, and there's actually an audio book on this, and it gives you the whole practical principles of Advaita Vedanta. It's really good, and it's well structured. The other book he's most famous for is a book called Six Lighted Windows. Swami has had the privilege of serving many of our great sadhus who have come from India, and he had the privilege of serving them, like Swami Yatishwarananda, who was known after the direct disciples, after Sri Ramakrishna, the direct disciples. Then we have some stalwart Swamis, and Swami has been associated with those first generation that came to America. Swami Yatishwarananda, Swami Prabhavananda, Swami Ashokananda, Swami Madhvananda, Yatishwarananda, Nikhilananda. Who else? Gahananda. Yeah, and also Swami Siddheshwarananda in London. So Swami's had, if you read his book, you get an idea of what it's like to be with these very holy people. It's not always sort of, we could say, roses. But through his eyes, you understand, even when it's not rosy, what are the lessons that the Swamis are trying to teach you? And so it's a wonderful book to read. Swami, I was going to ask you, you were a disciple of Swami Yatishwarananda. You had, in a talk you had given some time ago, I saw on YouTube, you said, at the time, as you're getting older, the names, the forms start to recede. Okay? So you said there are two things that you should try to remember, that you should hold on to. One, you said, is those spiritual people that had given you guidance, the memories of those holy people. The second thing you said is hold on to the principles or what they have taught you. These are the two things you said. Everything else you can let go. But these two things you want to hold on to as you're receding away.
In fact, most other things you should let go.
Let go. So, then, Swami, you talked about out of all the Swamis you've met, it seemed to me, you said two have led the biggest impressions to you. One was Swami Prabhavananda, and the other was Swami Ashokananda. Can you tell us what was it about them that has lent an impression within you? And also, maybe what are the teachings that they have given you that you're going to take with you? Or that you are taking with you?
The essence of Swami Prabhavananda was constant remembrance with devotion.
constant remembrance with devotion.
The essence of Swami Yogeshananda was expert guidance.
Expert guidance.
Where was that Swami, the second one?
Swami Yogeshananda was in San Francisco,
Oh.
and
okay.
Swami was with him for many years.
Prabhupada is Los
Prabhavananda, Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Yes.
And I'm getting hungry.
Oh, Swami's getting hungry, so we gotta go through this. Swami, so what is it? Can you recall an experience though that what are some life lessons, Swami, that any life lessons from these Swamis that you feel really changed your life? Were there any? You've known so many Swamis. Were there any things that really comes up in your mind, like life lessons that they have given you?
Well, there are several. One was in the first year of my monastic life when the visiting Swami from Portland came, and he said, "Let me tell you one thing. If you can make your mind flexible, if you can make your mind flexible, you will just grow and grow and grow spiritually."
He says, this is a Swami, I believe you're talking about Swami Yogeshananda,
Yogeshananda.
and he was a disciple of Holy Mother here, the last living monastic disciple of Holy Mother. I think Swami is saying, if you can make your mind flexible, then you will grow and grow and grow. It's very interesting, Marge, because one of our devotees, he's not here today, Dharmadas, asked a question to Swami Yogeshananda. The question he asked was that if the Bhagavad Gita, if the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita is, if you say it backward, tyagi, 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 renounce, 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 he asked him, what's the meaning of the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna? And at once Swami Yogeshananda said, sha, sha, sha. Endure, endure, endure. Adjust, adjust, adjust.
Yeah, I'm finding it tough.
He says, I'm finding it tough. What's the second? That's the first life lesson. You said there are several. What's another one?
I heard Swami Yogeshananda say, my definition of humility is seeing greatness in others.
Did you hear that? The definition of humility, I heard it say, it's not like being a doormat, is the ability to see greatness in others.
I'm getting hungry.
Oh, that's why we gave you the chocolate. Would you like a piece of chocolate now?
No.
Okay.
Then breakfast will be all over. Lunch will be all over.
Well, it's appetite.
All right.
Swami, one last question here. Where would you like to, at this point of, where would you like to go after the body leaves, body perishes? Where would you like to be?
Let me tell you something. When I was with my guru in Philadelphia, we came across an article in Pravidya Bharata, which I read and liked very much. And I asked my guru, who is this Swami? It was Ganeshwarananda. And he said, he is a Swami who is no more. I've carried that with me all the rest of my life. A Swami who is no more. That means he had attained. He didn't mean the negativity. It must have meant he had achieved absolute oblivion. That's my idea.
Thank you, Swami. Thank you. I want to at least, Swami, before you leave, I mean, Swami he's been making this public. And at least he said it to me, and then I've heard he said it to others, that the reason he's here is because he probably will not see another year. And so he was, and then I told him, Swami, will you at least make it here for Sri Ramakrishna's puja? He says, I don't know. So anyways, he's here, and I want, Swami, before you go, I'd love everybody at least to be able to greet you and just say something to you. So I want to at least have a little time for you to sit just outside where everybody can at least meet and greet you. Okay?
But that's after food.
No, it's not. It's according to his time.
Okay.
Yeah, so he can have food now.
I really don't like being put on a pedestal.
I know you don't, Swami. Swami, is it? Oh, hold on. Is it? Do you need to eat now, or can you wait? Because I know people will have to leave. So that's
No.
no. Okay.
Let's start leaving.
Okay. All right. Fine. So Swami will eat, and then if you want to meet Swami, at least.